All right, this is Judge Jeannie Pirro. This is the end of it, and this is then reported on the 19th. So that's today. This was Fox News. The most important part of this whole segment is with this guy here in the end. Let's hear these guys.
What would the argument be to not have a border? Is there a reason to not have a wall, I should say?
I can't get inside their head. What I can tell you, though, is if you have that barrier and you have the agents that support it, if you have access to the border and you have the technology that's required, you're going to have a much more secure border. So that barrier is really important.
You know, the Dems talk about abolishing ICE. What do you think of that, and how does it affect the morale of the members of the ICE team?
Well, we were very concerned when the rhetoric actually turned into action. We had people in the workforce, employees that were threatened at their homes, and things on the internet that was really terrible. So we put some monitoring in place, and we're watching that very closely. We had the help of some prosecutions. We went after some people who made threats against the workforce.
And we need to understand, the Democratic Party started threatening them, and also people in office started threatening these guys, these ICE guys. And Trump started stopping this threatment and harassment, and started getting some support and feedback here, and actually prosecutions for these threats. So Trump's leadership turned this around, as you'll see here in a moment.
Concerned about that. The morale is up because we're getting the kind of resources, we're getting the kind of support that unlike I've ever seen in the agencies.
When we talk about the gang members who are coming through, and you hear about the Democrats,
that Trump is supporting these guys, they're getting the support, they're getting the funding, they're getting other stuff they need. This is great news for ICE and the border agents and the patrols.
saying, no, we really don't need a wall. You've been in the system for over 3 decades. You were rank and file, Border Patrol, now you're acting director of ICE. What do you think when you look back to 1986 when President Reagan gave amnesty to how many millions of illegals, and fast forward to 2019? This is America. It's the greatest country on earth. Why can't we figure this thing out?
I think we can figure it out. We've got a president now who's enthusiastic about having the border secure, and he's looked to the professionals in CBP and the Border Patrol and ICE and what we need to do to fortify the border with a barrier and all the technology and the things that go with it, close the loopholes that are in the law. If we did both of those things, you would have a dramatic impact on the border communities and what's happening in each of the towns and the cities in the United States where they're being preyed upon by people who are selling opioids, or the gang members that find themselves in this society.
Now let's back up. This guy said a very important thing. You need to fix the loopholes in the law, and you need to have the physical barrier as well as the technical and the physical financial support. And he said if you did these things, you'd have a dramatic difference in what's happening on the border. And he's the director of ISIS. He knows.
The truth is that even though members of your agency are not getting a paycheck this week, and Border Patrol as well, although they will ultimately be paid, you still think it's worth it to fight this fight?
I'm grateful for the service that they give the country. Most of ICE is a law enforcement, so they're called non-exempt. That means they come to work whether they're getting paid or not. And I'm grateful for the work that they do because they're protecting this country each and every day.
And what about the president? Should he declare that it is an emergency, a national security emergency, and in the event he has to appropriate funds from other agencies?
It's quite clear to me that he's dedicated to getting this job done. So whatever means he needs to take to do that, I think he should do it.
All right, Director Vitello, thanks so much for being with us on the front lines.
There you are. And he said another important thing, and she asked another important question. Do you think he should declare national emergency and appropriate what other funds from the military, whatever, to get this done? And the director said, yes, if that's what he needs to do, then do it. You heard it from this guy. He knows that it needs to be done, and if he has to bypass a Congress to get it done, then yes, he said do it. That's as clear as you can get from professionals that know what's going on without all this political rhetoric and BS and partisan politics. That's as clear as you can get. Again, this is Roger Martin from Village, Montana. This is Justice G.D. Pirro, Fox News, 119. There we are. Have a great day and support Trump. He is a leader beyond leader, I tell you. We've never seen a president like this for decades. Maybe never. Closest one would be JFK, and they killed him because he didn't have the military support he needed. Again, it's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.